So yeah, pretty busy. And I guess chat with you guys about the latest episode. If anyone from my cast jumps in, guys, please spam the comments to let me know that they're in here. Wow, a lot of things to discuss. Yeah, if anyone from my cast jumps in, be like, hey, blah blah from your cast is in here. Please add them to the live. Let's see. Robbed the first place. Yeah, I don't know if I would say robbed. It seems pretty earned. But I am still happy. What did we place? Third or fourth? My connection was going in and out. What did we place? Third or fourth? And sorry, I'm also working on the side here, so I'm multitasking significantly. Very proud of my very close personal friends, Joseph and Anna. Morgan, do I know you? Joseph, I can't believe you did that to Taylor, and Jack doing that after the express pass. Well, maybe you will be able. I wonder if Taylor's free. She might join this live at some point. Let me. Where do I even begin? I guess since we're starting there with the U-turn, so what's our thought process? Okay, for U-turn number one, Adam is coming in cutthroat. Like, that man is... I'm trying to see. There's... Is anyone still here? Sorry, I'm also drinking my protein shake. Let's see. I'm trying to set some things up. Also, I do not know how to use this damn app. So what fighting did we miss between you? Oh my god. So before the race, for context, me and Adam had this, like, I guess, brother card that you could invoke. So me and him told each other, if we're ever going to get into an argument or we can't agree on something, one of us can invoke the brother card, is basically what we called it. And it overrides the other person. We didn't really have a rule if we both invoked it, but it was it was kind of like, hey, we're arguing and we're not seeing eye to eye. So it somewhat starts... This might be a very long live if I really go into all the details from behind the scenes. So leading up to the U-turn, obviously Adam and I just survived. There's a lot of context that would have to be provided. Like, one, I guess more than me, Adam was very hard on himself on the previous leg. And we obviously had a penalty and we're in last place. So we're a little bit more on the paranoid side than normal. And then on top of that, I guess there was somewhat of a burn lingering, because although we're still in the race, we're ultimately eliminated on the leg of the express pass, which we thought we were going to have. So going into the next leg, all those feelings are kind of bubbling up. And we get into the next leg, and through the traveling process, etc., that conversation about, I think they alluded to it a little bit, about Jack and Jazz saying Taylor and Kyland might be potentially targeting us, which was not true. We were grouped into that. That's just lingering. Adam's debating that. I obviously disregard it. I have a stronger relationship with Taylor and Kyland, so I wouldn't think that they would do that. But Adam's more of he's gaming. Like, he is thinking, like, from a game perspective, like, they might, we were in front of them, blah, blah, blah. So, oh my god, we actually, now when I'm thinking of it, me and him were really fighting. I hope he can hop on this live, because him and I were going at it so bad that the producers were, like, in between him and I, listening to us argue. Did I just let someone in here. I just chalked it up to me being like, oh, I'm gonna let Adam figure this out. But that's not how we got there. Me and him were not agreeing, which is why he invoked the brother card and was kind of like, I'm taking the lead, which I know it's shown that it's more of me just being like, oh yeah, this is a tough decision. No, we were arguing. Like me and him were going through, oh, there he is. Hey, bud.
Hello.
Okay, so I was just telling everybody about the brother card thing we talked about before the race, where we invoke like a lock in with me. Like in other words, so me and Adam had this thing where, and I guess Adam jump on where I'm forgetting something. We had this thing where we would yeah, you guys go show Adam some love. Shout out to Adam, by the way, for his award for Beyond Type 1 and just last leg in general. By the way, there's a really cute picture of me, Abe, and Jasmine in front of the same spot where we got our clue after the U-turn vote, and Adam's not there because Adam didn't join the trip. Literally, Adam, how crazy is this in hindsight?
I know.
I'm gonna find the picture, guys. I'll find the picture and upload it. Am I able to upload pictures in here? I could find it easily. There's a picture of the 3 siblings of us standing in Greece at the same exact spot as the clue box. There's like a selfie of us, and Adam's not there because Adam refused to travel when he was younger because of his diabetes. We were talking about, now that I think of it, Adam, I can't believe they didn't air that when we would talk about how
I
this
know.
is such a full circle moment because now we're here, me and you racing for $1 million. Like,
Yeah, but this time we're here and we have to make a choice that determines the fate of Amazing Race.
yeah. Oh my God, that's so crazy how those things. Please, guys, remind me to show the picture. But that was, I can't even believe that they didn't talk about that at all. That was huge for me and Adam. This leg is like emotionally because one of our only sibling trips was to that spot, and Adam didn't come. He was just like, hey, like I don't have enough medicine. It's not comfortable. Da da da. And he didn't go. And then me and him, when we were there, it was just so surreal. Anyways, back to, I guess, our thought process, Adam. I was telling them how we ended up at the U-turn. So the first vote was we did Eric and Tucker, obviously, and Jag and Jazz.
Yeah. No. We did Eric and Tucker.
I mean, Eric and Tucker and Chelsea and Jack, I meant to say. We did Eric and Tucker and Chelsea and Jack. And the reason it was Chelsea and Jack, by the way, the reason we burned that vote is because me and Adam were already not really agreeing. So we decided to do a burn vote because Adam is starting to he's a gamer. Like, this guy started playing, so he goes, why would we burn a vote? He goes, like, realistically, the 3 strongest teams in whatever order you want to put them was Eric and Tucker, Jag and Jazz, and Taylor and Kyland. Those were the 3 like strongest teams. Obviously in different orders depending on the competition. So Adam's like, those are the 3 strongest teams. Why would we burn a vote? And I was like, hey, you need to calm down, buddy. So that's how it ends up on Chelsea.
Well, they don't show it, but Joseph and I game planned what we assumed the votes are going to be, and like it was across the board that Eric and Tucker were getting U-turn. Like it was very clear.
This man was doing the math. Like they're not showing this, but Adam was really gaming here. So
yeah, they had everyone watching us, but like Eric and Tucker, I did the math.
All the cameras were hitting Adam big time because this man was.
I had to plead my case like a lawyer, and keep in mind this guy's the lawyer.
Oh, yeah,
but, like, I was like, Joseph,
yeah.
Eric and Tucker are being U-turned, so it's coming down to Jazz and Jag and Taylor and Kyland.
Yeah,
and
which he
like,
knew. So
I was like, okay,
fighting.
we know Izzy and Paige are going Jazz and Jag. We the issue was Chelsea and Jack. We didn't know where they were gonna go.
But we also wouldn't do Izzy and Paige because me and Adam just had an unspoken rule.
I love Izzy and Paige.
Adam got so close with Izzy and Paige. Like, it was so shocking for me to see. Like, I have all these pre-existing relationships, so this is Adam in his own way navigating all these relationships outside of me, and he gravitated the most to Izzy and Paige. So I remember, and not that I was ever going to consider it, but he goes, Izzy and Paige is like an untouchable. We won't even put a burn vote on them. We can't risk Jag and Jas. We don't know where their vote's going, what's going on. we can't risk them getting U-turned. And I was like, okay, that's fair. So me and him are like trying to build our way up on like who we won't. And then I'm like, well, Taylor and Kyland are going to be like, they're a non-touchable for me. And Adam's like, wait a second.
Because now we got three untouchables. So then we're just like, all right, we got to just burn. But then Phil hit us with the, if you tie again, all three are, because we were just like, we're going to keep forcing a tie until you just let us be free, and just send Eric and Tucker.
we start arguing with, we start clowning Phil. We're like, we're going to game the system. So it's just Eric and Tucker.
Over and over.
And they start coming to us because me and Adam are arguing so much, like between in our teams. And God, it got so dramatic. So obviously it ends up being a tie. And now it's between Taylor and Kyland and Jag and Jazz.
And so that's when we knew where everyone's going to vote. We knew, Joseph and I knew it was coming down to our vote. That's why they started the other end. Like, we knew, like, okay. Yeah. And this, are we U-turning 3 or are we U-turning 2?
Turning 2. So this now is the discussion. So me and Adam start from the top, which is, and this is why it gets emotional, and this is where me and Adam start fighting. So Adam's being very logical brain here. He was like, Joseph, I know, like, I love Taylor and Kyland too. This is nothing personal, but we need to consider the fact that 3 teams can get U-turned instead of 2, and it's not just 3 any teams. It's the 3 strongest teams. And so me and him start going back and forth, and I go, yeah, but that third team is Taylor and Kyland, and I'm not on board for that. And Adam's like, no, we need to talk about it. And I was like, it's not an option. Like, it's not on the table. And this is where he invokes, like, the brother card for me. He's like, you need to start listening to me. And I don't think any of this makes the edit. And this is when the producers and everyone are coming in, because me and Adam are not seeing eye to eye. It's getting to a point where, like, Phil's running a clock, and me and this man are going back.
Yeah, Phil was like, you have 60 seconds. Everyone's locked in because it's
everyone already has an issue.
Like, it took 5 seconds for every person to be like Jazz Jag or Taylor Kyland.
Yeah, but locked. Me and Adam were
and
like,
everyone's just watching us, the camera crew, the other team's Phil, and he's like, Joseph and Adam, you have 30 seconds.
Yeah,
15 seconds. And
so he starts counting us down because we start fighting, but then the producers are kind of like, let these two hash this out.
Yeah, they're kind of like, hold on, Phil. Like,
they were like letting you and I hash this out, but don't air any of it. So we're like fighting. So Adam's looking at me and he's trying to talk to me logically, and I remember a couple of the things you were making an argument to me. Which, by the way, that is where I think there is a scene where you see Adam yell at me. You see Adam yell at me and say, like, you have love in one hand, love in, like, your relationships, or $1 million in the end. And it's because I'm fighting with him. By the way, I'm holding the board now this time. So Adam, oh my God, it's actually so dramatic.
So I'm like telling Joseph, like, look, man, like, it's like your love and your emotions on one hand, and you're getting in the middle of my $1 million. So I'm gonna need you.
Well, he also, so he warms me up, like he's trying to lawyer Big Brother me, which I get what he's doing. First, he tells me. I start saying, like, dude, there's no way I can let you put Taylor and Kyland in that box. Like, in full transparency, I was like, I can't let you put Taylor and Kyland in that box. Adam goes, okay, then let me be honest with you. He goes, one, there's a chance I do put her in that box, and Kyland, because when you're around Taylor, and I guess this is leaning up to it, he goes, your senses are dulled. Like, he was like, I've been racing with you. When you get near her and Kyland, like, you're not on your A game. Like, and there's a lot of things that he put leading up to that. Like, he was like, there was times you waited, times you did this that just didn't make sense, and it was just because you were trying to get near them. And I was like, okay, I hear you. Like, I'm trying to
here's Taylor.
Oh, yes, get in here. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh yeah. Okay, first we gotta say we're sorry.
How sorry are you?
Oh my God, you already heard me say it a million times, which, by the way, you could not pop your head in a better time, because we're talking about the argument.
No, I heard a little bit. Hold on, where's my brush?
So this is a little bit awkward now to say because she's here. So Adam basically starts telling me, and I guess you guys can kind of see it, like, whatever. Jailer's cracking up, Jailer's doing whatever, and Adam starts looking at me and he goes, hey buddy, like, snap in. Like, I've seen you on Big Brother. And he starts basically telling me I need to space you too. So he's using that as justification. Like, it's better for us if you two aren't
This is
here.
some bullshit. Own your shit, Joseph. You're just putting it all on Adam. I've heard this.
No,
because I heard the same shit. I've heard the same.
I'm
shit
not. No, I'm not putting it. I'm not putting it on Adam. I'm saying how we got to the. I'm saying how we got to where we're at. So, because keep in mind, in the beginning, I'm not pro 3 people U-turn. Adam is. Adam's pro 3. I'm not.
Look. We have not sniffed the first. Like, not sniffed it, not touched it, not anything.
Y'all were ahead of us.
Taylor, we were ahead of you, but we were ass ahead of you. Like, we were like really ahead of you.
Yeah. And by the way, we're also working in like a.
Y'all were ahead of us in Prague. Y'all were ahead of us. What was that?
No, but now you're ahead of us. Your average is better than ours now. Now your average is better than ours, and we're in a major alliance. You two are just running the back, like figuring this shit out. Like we're working. By the way,
I touch a roadblock.
We were in an alliance with you.
Like,
you guys are, but you're in the alliance with us, but you're nowhere to be found. Jag and Jas, by the way, I remember when Adam was arguing with me, he would tell me. He was like, by the way, you know, Jag and Jas has been working in a major alliance. He goes, Taylor and Kyland are doing well, and they're not near us. Like, they've been doing this by themselves. Like,
okay,
and then Adam, what he was also arguing too, because keep in mind, where we're at right now when we're arguing with your guys' card is whether we're gonna do 3 or 2.
What?
So then Adam literally looks at me and he goes, what was it? Adam, what was the thing you
I told you just hold the board up, and I was like, I'm gonna put someone in, and I'm gonna be so honest with you. I put Jazz and Jag in. I put Jazz and Jag in.
Okay,
and then,
that by the way, that was Taylor.
I swear,
I know you guys don't believe
Taylor,
it, but I argued so hard.
Darren saw me put Jazz and Jag in. And then as Phil was like, all right, your countdown's done. Like, it's time to leave. I'm going to be honest. Like, as Joseph was walking away, he handed me the board. I pulled Jazz and Jag out and put you guys in.
They don't show it, but I told you, Adam, at the end of it, me and him were going to war. Like, we did not agree on this at all.
That was me. And so Darren was like...
just showing the corner of his face as he's scared.
Darren was like, who'd you put in? And I was like, you'll find out when I flip the board. And then Darren went to Phil and whispered in his ear. You remember when he whispered in his ear, like, I don't even know who Adam put in. Joseph doesn't know who Adam put in. And that's when he whispered in Phil's ear. And that's why Phil went the other way, because he wanted us to be the suspense, like,
nobody knew what Adam did. Nobody knew what it wasn't.
Wait, for the second vote, you're saying?
For the second vote, because I put Jazz and Jag in, and then I pulled it out, and then I put another card in, and no one saw me, no camera crew, no nothing, and I was just like, Joseph, you're gonna just deal with the decision I make, and we'll talk about it later. What's also crazy is I remember Adam goes, this is when he put Jag and Jas. Taylor Kyland, I'm holding your guy's card, like the one that he needs to swipe in. He goes, give me Taylor and Kyland's card. And this was so dramatic. Even the producer was like, he goes, give me Taylor and Kyland's card. I go, Adam, I cannot give you this card. And then he goes, then nobody's going in. I was like, Adam, I'm not giving you this card. And that's when he invoked like the brother thing. He goes, you need to give me Taylor and Kyland's card. I go, Adam, I'm not going to be here if that's what you're going to do. That's when I walk away. Adam takes both. He then feels bad about me because now I'm upset. And I put Jazz and Jag in.
He puts Jag and Jas.
I put Jazz and Jag in. And then Phil goes, your time is up. Start walking back to your spots. And while I was walking back, I pulled out Jazz and Jag. I put you guys in, but I didn't show anyone in there. Like, who'd you put in there? And I was like, I don't want Joseph to know what I did. I don't want him to know when I flipped.
I know at the end of the day, but Adam can attest to me. I put up a fight. Like, even though it didn't, his logic
That's
was...
bull. No, if you put up a fight, you wouldn't stand there and say, oh, I just walked away.
I will own it. At the end of the day, I knew there was a chance of risking you two guys by walking away, and I'm going to hold my L there. Because, like, that's where I hold my jailer L, is like, I knew there was a chance Adam did put you guys in, and his convincing argument to me was, I'm not gonna lie, he goes, Joseph, the only better thing than 3 U-turn teams is 2. And here's one thing he also said that I will hold, that I was like, you know what, if they do get U-turn, he goes, it's Taylor, Hale, and Kyland Young. They're not going home. I was like,
well, I was like, look, it's 2 teams or it's 3. So I was like, we're going to U-turn 3, and then I'm going to pray to God that Jazz and Jag and Kyland and Taylor work together and send Eric home. And I said that right next to Eric and Tucker. I was like, respectfully, I hope you guys go home.
Yeah,
and that those 2 teams hash this out. Put it like I said, put your personal feelings aside and
moments from the game with as far as the actual rolling the boulder and the olives and stuff. I'm like, take out 10 minutes of that. Take out 2 minutes of that and show 4 minutes of the conversation.
I'm so shocked they didn't show Kyland and
Jazz. I thought they were going to show Kyland and Jazz speaking.
I'm shocked they didn't put that in.
Kyland and Jazz. Was all of us got uncomfortable.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Though, even outside of that, it just was weird. I'm so annoyed at the recap thing was talking about the recap. Kyland and Taylor.
I don't think they can say. Oh, the recap is that Jazz heard him in the middle of the night
in the air base. Yeah,
I know. But I'm saying even before that, the recap about the thing with Eric. Because that was just us saying this is what happened. Yeah. There's a joke. We're talking about something we heard.
We're told.
And then they're and then in the recap, it's just this is as if we came up with a theory or something on our own.
They manipulated that hard. They manipulated that hard, I would say.
Yeah,
I really wish they showed your speech and then they showed me being I hope you guys work together to send this team home. And
because they can't. A lot of it doesn't make sense because they didn't show you saying that, Adam. You can see there's little snippets of us being the plan is working, or two teams working signifies Eric and Tucker going home. That doesn't make sense without the context of your speech where you were like, hey guys, we're slowing down and U-turning you two teams. You guys are stronger. Work together. Cooperate. Make sure Eric and Tucker go home. And then obviously we slowed down two of the stronger teams. But you can hear us alluding to that being the plan, but it's never fully said. It just sounds like we're like, oh yeah, two teams.
Yell at him, Taylor.
Sure. You guys didn't really explain it well in the moment. If you wanted to make a decision, just stand on your decision in the moment. Here's the thing, whenever you guys talk about it, you just word vomit all this stuff, and it sounds like you're looking for every reason to justify what you did. So, one will stick eventually, right?
So I made the decision. I don't I'm standing on my decision. At any point, if I alliance or not.
What was the decision? Was it you turn three teams because that's better numerically, or was it you turn Taylor and Kyland because they're a strong team?
It's both. It's both.
It
doesn't have to be exclusive.
Yeah, there's multiple.
Both. You're a strong team, and I'm U-turning you. Let me put it like this: if it was Chelsea and Jack, I would not U-turn them because that would guarantee they would go home, and not an Eric and Tucker or Jazz and Jack.
With Eric and Tucker and Jag and Jazz, we're strong as those two teams?
And the only reason why I didn't do that was because, and I said this in there, was that Jazz and Jag and us were in an alliance. So I think you guys are in the same tier as those three teams, and three's better than two. But if it was Izzy and Paige and Chelsea and Jack, I would not U-turn them because they would go home against Eric and Tucker on a U-turn.
Also,
you guys wouldn't, as it shows.
But in hindsight,
as it shows, you got lucky that Tucker's dyslexic.
Did I get lucky, or did you guys play well?
What? Did you see us at the Olives shitting the bed?
And then look what happened at the Greek alphabets. You did great.
That's
a gamble I'm going to take.
You can
Tucker
call it
got
luck.
one letter wrong after however many tries. We only got there because we were late.
And then you smoked them.
Let's say we you know what? Maybe we should just let two super strong teams go against each other.
But then that would have been me going against my alliance. And I can get a third team going back with them.
Joseph, what was that about alliance?
We're all in the alliance.
So you throw us in there.
Yeah, Taylor.
Going against the alliance.
Yeah, Taylor, the same way that you although in hindsight, Tucker and Eric and Jag and Jess are very strong teams. In that moment in Athens, which this is why all this context matters. You and Kyland are a very formidable team. I know you're no, we got lucky beating Eric and Tucker.
You're scared.
What? What do you say? Yes, part of
yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, nobody.
Eric and Jag and Jazz, and we're supposed to be in the same tier as them after all the first places you've seen them going back and forth. And then Jag and Jazz, you guys are talking about
they're tier 1A, and then they're tier 1B.
And then what's what's going on with you guys are so scared of Taylor and Kyland?
It's not scared. It's statistically the smartest thing to do.
Statistically, yeah. If you're going to do the math of a team that could work together to defeat Eric and Tucker, you, Kyland, Jag, and Jess make the most sense for that. Do you tell me if that? Again, you're oh, you guys are so lucky your plan worked. That's the point of a plan. The plan was to get Eric and Tucker back and then slow down the other two strongest teams.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No, I think that I've actually maintained the second thing that you said there about it's always going to be better to have 3 teams disadvantaged as opposed to 2 teams. If you're not one of the teams, that makes sense. I think, and that's actually what I have, which she knows, defended until we understood like the math of that. And I think that that's always been the case. I think that the thing that's happening now, though, that you guys are now putting me in a weird spot because I've said, like, hey, that is the logical thing to do. It doesn't matter who the teams are. That's always going to be a logical thing to do. Disadvantage 3 teams as opposed to 2 teams. But then now, I think switching it to the plan is for them to, like that you wouldn't have done a Jack and Chelsea or any other team. I think it hurts that argument. That is a very logical argument. So that's why I'm, like, curious of
Kyland, I understand what you're saying. Like, I guess Adam's point in making it like, oh, we wouldn't do Jack and Chelsea is that you slowing
detour
Taylor,
would
Chelsea
she have
and
survived?
Jack finish with us.
I can't guarantee that. Again, I'm using your own argument here.
No, did you see their navigation and you're trying to tell me that she would survive and
then if we got it right this time, like you're throwing variables in here for your own argument.
Yeah, I'm throwing variables in here because that's what I have to do when I make a decision. I don't know the future. And in the decision presented in front of me was a U-turn of the team that I believe is the 3rd best team on the show. And so I said, decision. I don't know the future. And in the decision presented in front of me was a U-turn of the team that I believe is the 3rd best team on the show. And so I said, I'm going to do that because I think the 3rd best team can beat Eric and Tucker.
You're not making sense. Again, you're talking about statistics to back up your argument. You want you to turn 3 teams. You want to protect, and you also said, like, oh, I'm protecting my alliance here. At what point were we not aligned? At what point were we not trying to help each other? Like,
I have a locked-in alliance with Jazz and Jack. That is locked in. That is in the episode. You have seen that. That is my alliance. I have an implied alliance with you, Taylor, because of our experience and our relationship prior to the show. Yes.
And every decision that I ever made was always in favor of you, protecting
like the Express Pass?
Taylor,
you know exactly why I did that with the Express Pass.
Okay, but you have an implied alliance with us, and you made a decision that's best for
your alliance with people you're also aligned with.
Taylor,
I made a decision.
And we're fighting from the back of the pack.
And I made a decision saying that you two would work together, and with you two working together, Eric and Tucker would go home. And in hindsight, I was correct.
You got lucky. You were right. You got lucky.
No, Taylor, I did what was best for my team.
But Taylor,
that's what I did.
Even if we're gonna call it luck, you finish. You
and Joseph, go ahead.
You and Kyland finish. Let's keep in mind, you guys are finishing with the 3 teams who were not U-turn. You guys, no joke, when all Chelsea and Jack, Izzy Page, me and Adam.
No, we're not finishing with the 3 teams who are not U-turn. We're fighting in the back with the other team who was U-turn.
Yes, correct. But Adam's point he's making is if any one of those 3 teams who finish next to you, you're like a couple seconds behind us. You walk like no joke.
No, we're a couple seconds in front of Tucker and Eric.
Correct. But Adam's point, what he's trying to make is you guys, with doing the other detour and getting over there, you're finishing ahead of Tucker and Eric and right before the 3 teams who were not U-turn. So his point he's making is you guys are a strong team. I know in hindsight, you're like, hey, why are we getting grouped?
That's bull. Did you watch literally what happened? Tucker was 1 letter off ahead of us from getting this all right.
No one knows that.
Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, but
no one knows that.
You're talking when we're standing there debating what's going to go on. Like, not at the finish line. How would we know that? Like, at the end of the day, when we're making the decision, the goal was Taylor and Kyland are a very strong team. We don't want them eliminated, but they're significantly stronger than us. If we can slow them down, slow Jag and Jazz down, eliminate Eric and Tucker, this is a perfect world for everyone. And that was kind of the objective.
No, it's a perfect world. Let me be clear. It's a perfect world for Joseph and I. Joseph and I. And that's what I made a decision on, Taylor. I did not want you going home in Greece. I did not want Jazz and Jag going home in Greece. I wanted Eric and Tucker going home in Greece. However, I did want you.
You didn't want Jag and Jazz going home. You're going to put both teams in jeopardy.
Yes, exactly. Because at the worst case scenario for me, Taylor, I need you to see it from my perspective. Worst case scenario, Jazz and Jag go home, or Taylor and Kyland, or Eric and Tucker. So one of the top 3 teams go home in Adam's scenario, and Adam's guaranteed to survive. However, in the best case scenario, Eric and Tucker go home, and my two teams that I want to go to the final three with survive. So that's my best case, and that's my worst case. Why would I not take that approach? I just don't understand why I would say no to that approach.
You know I can't say that.
I mean, I don't, that's what Joseph's argument was there in Greece. And I said, I'm going to be honest with you, Taylor. I'm going to be honest with you. I said I'm going to sidestep that. Joseph made that argument, and he did. And I said I'm going to sidestep that, and I'm going to make this decision. If you just look at it from best case and worst case, this is what it is. There's no loss for Joseph and us. The only loss is slowing you and Jazz and Jack down for the risk that you go home. Yes, I do admit to that. I weighed Eric and Tucker going home more valuable to me than the chance of you going home. That is the truth. I knew I was not winning the Amazing Race with Eric and Tucker and Jazz and Jack in the show. I needed to take a gamble and send one of them home, and that gamble was your life, your team's life, and I'm going to stand on that, and I will take that gamble every time.
The problem is any argument you're going to make to Adam now, I made to him on the mat. This is what and I know you're going to be like, no, you didn't.
You walked away.
Yeah, and this is where I will hold Adam at some point, which is I'm agreeing with him now. What he said started to make sense. And he was like, you're just arguing for the benefit of Taylor's game. He's like, me not being able to U-turn 3 teams right now. I get one of them's our ally. I get you're really close with one of them. He goes, but we're on Amazing Race. It's $1 million. I'm invoking the brother card. If you don't let me U-turn a third strong team, whether you want to argue if they're the strongest or not, he was like, you're not playing this game for me. You're still playing a game with Taylor and Kyland. And he goes, if you're not going to let me do this, this is my reasoning. Basically, everything he's saying now, he's like, I'm overriding you. I'm U-turning 3 teams and not 2. And again, which I'm standing to here now, I put up every single thing you're going to say now, Taylor. I've said to him on that mat in the dirt with the producers in our face, eye to eye, drooling at the mouth. I gave him every single thing to the point where I took the card from him and was like, you can't put Taylor and Kyland in. He said everything he's saying now, and then it all ultimately came down. He was like, Joseph, we are playing for $1 million. That's a very strong team. It's Taylor Hare, who already whooped your ass once, and Kyland Young, who would probably whoop your ass also.
Taylor, can I hear your opinion?
I'm going to put 3 teams in the back and slow them down, and that's my decision, and I'm going to do it. And I argued with him so much that when I walked away out of frustration because I heard what he was saying and it made sense, he felt so bad out of frustration. Like he mentioned, he put Jag and Jazz in there. But then when I walked away and I'm not there to emotionally influence his decision, he put it out and he put Jag and Jazz and he's like, I'm U-turning these 3 teams. Unfortunately, it is a very difficult decision and there's more than one reason for it going. So if we get hyper fixated on one reason or one comment or why this makes sense, it's gonna, we can go back and forth all day and all night about it. Especially, there's obviously just multiple competing relationships here.
Taylor, I also want to mention one thing is that there should have never been a second vote because when Joseph and I did our math, Chelsea and Jack was not supposed to vote for you guys. They were supposed to vote for Eric and Tucker. And though that was the 2 teams that were supposed to
that was our understanding.
Once we got pigeonholed into making that decision of the 3 team, because the first time, Taylor, like you mentioned, we had an alliance. I didn't vote for you the first time. We burned the vote. That was my alliance. But when I was stuck to make a decision between you and Jazz and Jack, I will be honest with you and tell you I lean Jazz and Jack because I raced with them longer. And because I raced with them longer, Jazz and Jack.
There it is. I just
I have never hid what my decision is. I went Jazz and Jack because one, Jazz and Jack has helped me with my blood sugar and helped us a lot. And I told Joseph that. And I said, 2, I do believe if they can put their feelings aside, both those 2 teams can work together and send Tucker and Eric home. And it's 3 teams U-turned than 1. None of this is mutually exclusive, Taylor, where it was like one thing or the other. It was a just streak of things Joseph and I can just win. And I was like, Joseph, the one reason why you don't want to do this is because it's Taylor. And I'm sorry, that's not enough for me. I need to send Eric and Tucker home. That is my goal here today. And this is the gamble. This is the shot Amazing Race is giving to us. I'm taking the shot. That was it. And Joseph didn't have a decision in it. I did, and I did it, and I'm going to stand on that.
There's a lot of conflicting things that just weren't shown. Like one thing when Adam was arguing with me, he goes, Joseph, you can't be, just because you like Taylor and Kyland, tell me after some of the things they didn't show, like when Jag and Jazz helped when his sugar crashed and moved the platoon, which that's not on there. He goes, how the hell am I supposed to now put a team who stopped their race to help me with my blood sugar and U-turn them and keep two teams from you? So there's multiple reasons. Like when me and him, which is so frustrating that the edit doesn't show any of me and Adam fighting. Like we were going at it with multiple reasons. And they just kind of chalk it up to me being like, oh, you know, like, I don't know, Adam has to. It comes down to, I'm like, I have to walk away because you're making sense, Adam. Like, my brain agrees with you, but my heart will not give you this card. Like, I can't bring myself to still do it, even though as your brother, I agree. I hear what you're saying. You want to pick one reason out of the multiple, which there's multiple competing factors. The one would be his logical answer is you're racing for $1 million. I'm your teammate, no one else. And 3 teams is better than 2. That's like his big takeaway spiel. There's a bunch of other nuance arguments we could get caught up, but that's his big takeaway.
Yeah, this is the first time you're actually like saying that and standing on that, Joseph, because when we talk about it, it's just...
No, when we talk about it, obviously I tell you there's nothing I'm saying here that's new. Like I've definitely shared that perspective to you multiple times. Like I've 100% told you
to actually say that out loud. You see what I'm saying? Like, here's my thing. Like, from my perspective, it feels like the logic and the statistics are just being used to cover the emotional aspect of it. And I wish you guys would just stand on the emotion of it. Because when it came down to it, you guys already had a vote on you as a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
We
didn't know that.
We didn't know that, but still, like, when we were handed those cards, it was literally, like, had your face in our hand, pushed it to the side in the hottest second, said, no, we would never do that to them.
And we did the same to you guys.
Yeah, we did it initially also, yeah. Like, Taylor, again, it's not like, it sounds like Phil was just like, hey, guys, pick a team.
Hold on. Okay, because there's a lot of this going in circles, and I can... so there is information that you guys have provided here that allows the clarity, and I think that I understand Taylor's frustration on multiple levels, but I also understand, I have a different relationship with both of you, everyone here. So I think just so you guys know where a lot of the room for the frustration came in for Taylor from a lot of the conversations we've had and stuff you guys are saying right now is there was a lack of directness, and I understand the whole thing's complicated. There's multiple reasons. I agree with that, but the bottom line was that is like I said, statistically, take out whoever it is. It's always to the advantage of any non-U-turn team to have 3 teams U-turned instead of 2. If you just look at it, my goal is to survive. My goal is not to figure out who gets second, who gets third, who gets first, who gets fifth out of these 6 people. My goal is just to make sure I am not last. And as an individual that is not U-turned, it's always going to make sense to have 3 people U-turned instead of 2. So that logic on its own makes sense. I think that a lot of the place where the discrepancy comes in as far as like where things get emotional is the other thing that you mentioned here is like, hey, I'm making this gamble for you guys because I have the 3 strongest teams in, as Adam was talking about that, and that makes sense. It's like I want to have 3 strongest teams in, and the reality is for you guys, for any team, it makes sense to gamble. The 3 strongest teams is the best thing to do because it's like, hey, at the end of the day, one of the 3 strongest competitors against us winning the end of this game, $1 million, is going to go home. Ideally, I want it to be the outcome that happened. Eric and Tucker, I want Jag and Jazz. And you were very clear about Jag and Jazz. I'll let you guys talk for a few minutes. Hold on. Give me another 30 seconds. So I agree that the ideal scenario happened. And then to Adam and Joseph's credit, you guys were very strong articulating at the vote, like, hey, we want Jag and Jazz and Taylor and Kyland to work together. And all of us did put it aside to work together. We just obviously, when we forgot the stand thing, so that separated us. But it is because when asked, it wasn't, hey, I'm willing to gamble you guys. It was just this concept of, hey, I'm doing this for this plan of you guys working together. And so both things are true. It's like, hey, and we were talking about the gambling side, like, hey, Taylor's like, you're gambling us, you're gambling our life in this game, and you're talking about the other side of it. And it's like both things are true, but since both sides were only saying one thing, it like put it in conflict rather than just like acknowledging at the time and then in the conversation since, like, hey, yeah, both things are true, like you did here. And I appreciate that. And that's why I said, it's like, like Jack said, there isn't a reason to take it personally, but we also have seen, not just from this game, but from all these games, that like, there are going to be feelings. There's going to be deep feelings, and they're going to be hurt. But like, no one needs to be yelling. Like, no, it is much more about. I think that's the clarity that we were just missing on both sides. That's why I'm like, there's no point in getting crazy about it.
Yeah, well, then first, I would like to say sorry for, I guess, not explicitly explaining that in Greece. That's one.
No, we didn't have time. You're fine. I wasn't asking.
To be completely honest, I thought my action of voting you guys the second time, it's implied in the action that I was gambling you guys. That is the cold-hearted truth, and I thought I explained that well enough with me saying, I hope you two can put your differences aside and work together to send Eric and Tucker home. That's it. Like, that was my explanation. I thought that was enough there. And if it wasn't, I'm sorry. And that it took so long and months later for me to give you a better explanation. But again, like, my truth, and I will completely stand on it, is that I love you guys. I love Jazz and Jag, and I love Eric and Tucker. My perfect scenario that day is slow every team down, especially you and Jazz and Jag, and send Eric and Tucker home. And I was given that opportunity, and Joseph was not convincing me not to take it. That's it.
And that's what I was saying. That is the right decision, I think, and that's never been in conflict for me. And even as Taylor and I have had multiple layers conversations, she's come to that agreement as well.
Yeah, I didn't take statistics. I didn't make it past algebra, so it took me a long time to be like, statistics.
I'm going to put on a lighthearted note. If you guys thought this conversation got serious, you should have seen Athens. Like, this live is nothing compared to what was going down in
Athens. The whole thing, man. You guys thought my big brother eviction was crazy.
Yeah. If you guys
like Jag and Jazz versus Kyland and Taylor.
That was actually intense. But guys, all in all, I mean, we could probably go back and forth like we have been for the months. I mean,
there's sum it up the way I just summed it up.
Kyland summed it up. Kyland summed it up perfectly. Right? Jailer still lives, even if you don't want it to. Too bad, Taylor. You're stuck with me. Still love you both. Respect you both.
I can block your fucking number in a heartbeat. What are you talking about? You pissed me off a couple times, and I blocked you without you even knowing, too. So, like, I don't answer your phone call for a few days in a row because I'm tired of your ass, and I blocked you. I know it, okay?
If you guys see that U-turn really did take a toll on us.
But did you see? I was sad they didn't show, like, because there was a lot of when we got to that freaking. First off, that climbing up the mountain with that boulder took so long. And one thing that I was going to say, too, that they didn't show is that while we were pushing it, because we're so behind, well, the markers, first off, sucked as far as figuring out where to go.
Yeah, they sucked. And the trees, too.
The other thing about it was that, the trees, I was just like, I legitimately was like, Taylor, I'm going to just, the details instruction said to get this boulder up there. I was like, I'm going to pop it and walk it up. And like, he's like, this is so risky. I was like, according to the details of those rules, it doesn't say that we can't, but I too am a gambler. So I was like, but I know you're not, and we need that energy of not gambling and not taking that risk. No. So we didn't.
Because if we did,
we don't know. But obviously.
No, if we did, it would have been 30.
But that's the whole thing. None of us.
They would probably tell you to go back down and push.
I know, right? But here's the deal. Reading the instructions, it just said we had to get. It said if your thing breaks apart, you just need to get all of the pieces up. So that's all I was like, if it breaks apart, it doesn't say how it's broken apart. But anyways, that was a side thing. But when we got there, the reason that was a tangent, obviously. But but when we got up to the top, like, because that walk was so long, like, as far as we knew, we didn't know if any teams were still going to be there. And then seeing all the teams, and then there's a back and forth because, like, on the roadblocks, as you guys like, they're usually something that is like, we were having a deep conversation. I'm like, hey, I know there's a lot of like emotions and stuff involved. Is this the time? And Taylor just was like, yeah, I got it. And like, just looking in her eyes, and I was like, okay, yeah, she got it. And then she did crush that. And a lot of people were calling it out in the comments. And they're like, hey, you guys are talking about a lot of stuff and not Taylor's win here. And I was like, yeah, she did do that.
Oh yeah, she beats that. I mean,
knowing this whole time.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is on your boulder rant thing too.
Oh my god, I see my folks, my team.
Which also reminded me. So you know how we all left the stand? We asked if we could bring your guys' stand to you guys. I realized.
What you did leave out.
I realized it.
right away, and I was like, Joseph,
Adam, I have
there's
to give
another
Adam
stand
that.
missing.
We saw the
Yeah,
tape.
take it. And they were like, no, you can't touch.
I
someone
have to
else's
give
stuff.
Adam that. So we came back and we were like, we didn't know when you guys would realize your stand is missing. So your stand is there when we get back, and we asked, can we take the stand to you guys?
No, I remember that.
You guys
I'm
were
saying
still there,
yes.
but we like
Yeah, then you show.
like get your stand.
We never find out if it would have been allowed because you guys then show up coincidentally.
No, but it was just the way, which I understand, but it just was the way that you guys were standing there, like you guys had waited there from the whole time.
Oh no, we
Well,
did
no,
not wait
which
there.
once
we
again would have
just
been the
sucked
bad
with
call to make.
directions.
No,
It just
yeah,
was-
what's actually is insane. You thought we wait. No, we're coming back. Also, we left the stand as well.
Yes, I realize it now. No, you didn't say it. I thought it because you talked about wanting to bring ours down. So I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
we were
that's
like, oh, we're
crazy that
back
they
for
waited.
your stand also. Well, which is crazy because we came back
I
and did the
appreciate
math.
It was just funny
Yeah.
when I thought that. It was to watch us back, and I was like, you know what? Actually, you didn't say that. You're right. I just thought that.
And then you know what's funny? Here comes this next episode.
Oh yeah, no, for real. But also, people are asking about the Taylor and talking about women struggling and not voting. It's like, well, yeah, there's a difference between recognizing an issue and then deciding that, like, yeah, I'm as someone who did play an entire game, prioritizing a mission over my individual game and knows how challenging that is. We both talked about how that wasn't what we were doing in this game. So us recognizing the struggles that the female teams are having isn't the same as saying, yeah, and we're going to gamble our game on that. That's not the same thing. No, it's not. Being able to recognize that this is an issue caused by the way the show is produced. That's why there's only 3 female teams that have won the game in the history of the show. So we're talking about that. We're not talking about. So this person is saying podcast. It's like, no, that's the nuance of, hey, this is an issue that the production should fix in their show because it's not our job as contestants to fix it, and we're just calling that out.
Good. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm reading a script and I'm trying to like memorize it in the meantime. Like while we're having this
Wait, a
conversation.
script for what? What are you scripting?
I'm doing a commercial tomorrow at 6 a.m. And so I was like, meanwhile, like, oh, but you didn't give us the express pass. And then I was like, and we serve the best protein. Like at the same
Oh, because we knew nobody else was voting for Izzy and Paige, and
I'm
not enough for them to go
multitasking.
home. So, like Joseph and Adam already said, because they said why Izzy and Paige, it was just like, well, who is probably not going to get
Really
votes?
looking around
And we're like,
who's
okay,
not gonna
we're going to
get
get them.
votes.
So, not enough votes to go home. So, and you're right, they didn't.
Great conversation. My cue to go. I'm tired.
All right. Good night, bud.
I'll see you.
Good
guys.
night. Congrats.
Thank you.
Also, congrats on your award.
What else happened on that episode? There was a ton of fun things we were gonna chat about.
The room service or whatever.
That was a crazy day. What were the other things we were gonna do? Yeah, the U-turn was fun. Oh, I guess Greek alphabets were pretty crazy. So when I got
Funny people talking about sorority and fraternities, it's like this is the original Greek alphabet, not the one that you use.
It wasn't
for
there. I didn't know it
sorority and
wasn't.
fraternity.
I
No,
didn't know
not
it was
you. But I'm
lowercase.
saying the commentary and people are watching. I think that's why I was like, no, guys, that's not how that works.
Yeah, I also didn't know it was. I don't know. I wasn't know what to think. It was all lowercase.
yeah,
And they were like, oh, they're all lowercase letters, and if you were in a sorority fraternity, you might not be familiar. And I was like, oh, yeah.
did you guys have any indication this was gonna be like a memorization when it said who wanted to be alpha?
No, we just knew it had to do with
Knew
the
it'd be
alphabet.
for sure.
Oh my god, we did not put that together. So if you guys saw when Adam was pushing up the boulder, he's like, hey, my sugar's low, so you volunteer. And Adam's our memorization guy. So because he was like, still, hey, my sugar's still low from all of today. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go in. This is probably physical. Who wants to be alpha? It's probably going to be a physical thing. And I go in and I'm like, damn it. And then Jag, when I get in there, is like, hey, let's memorize the second row. They make it look like that was a longer conversation. We almost immediately realize that doesn't work. Jag just memorizes that second row in bolt. So I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. Doing it the other way. But I saw they were showing us repeating it. It's funny, Taylor, they didn't show you and I seeing each other. When you first came in, I don't know if you remember, I was like, go downstairs and read the jumbled letters.
I just started speed memorizing the alphabet in order because, thought that's what it's going to be like. And then I was like, oh.
That's what I was doing also. I started memorizing the letters in order, which I think I recall seeing you doing that. You were like alpha, whatever, memorizing it in order. And that's when I was like, it's jumbled. You need to go see the board first. So I memorized the board, which in hindsight I don't think was much quicker. But I memorized the board itself and then went and memorized the letters. But that's why I'm standing. That was my strategy. That's why I'm standing in front of the board, just repeating random letters. I'm buying myself time to see the order of what they put it in, and then matching it to the board upstairs.
Are you doing the room service again?
I was making sure it's the same thing.
Nothing with that?
Yeah, it does, but I can't. I mean, what? He's saying something.
Just explain the alphabet.
Yeah, the alphabet one was honestly, it took longer because which by the way, I think they make it look like I asked Jag to say, hey, do you want to work together for this? Jag literally goes, you memorize the second line, and then I go, so let's work together.
Wait, he asked you for help, but then
yes, and they made it look like I said, hey, let's work together, but Jag was like, okay, This is what's going on, memorize the second line and then do this. So he offers this. I'm like, okay, let's do it. He goes down, gets it on like his second try, and he's gone. So I was literally like, what the heck?
Damn, that's cold.
Yeah, I know. So then I had to like restart from scratch. And there was like a bunch of other little annoying things that were going on thank God, because I was doing such a non-traditional way. I was memorizing the board downstairs. When I would come upstairs, I was so disheveled, if you're listening to me, that people were like, oh yeah, Joseph's going to lose on this one. Like they were like, there's no way he gets out.
You were really turned around.
Yes.
Does it look good? Do you like it?
But Taylor, do you remember also what happened, which I can't talk about on the live, which really disheveled me?
Is what I said. Thinking if you have more than a 4-second difference.
You can type something now.
Okay. Well, I mean, that I did. So
do that then.
We're honest, so we could do something here.
Oh, I'm down for that. That's home stuff. I haven't had that in forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was another reason I had to start from scratch. So I was like, oh, okay.
You were really disheveled at that roadblock, and I was kind of hoping they'd put in the part where you like went back up looking for your
backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that would slow you down some more. The grade is lost. Perfect.
Well, yeah, we lost our backpack. There's a funny shot. You can see me reading with no backpack, and then it's just me running with the backpack. And after I got it, there's like a 5-minute layover of me just looking for that backpack because it was lost.
Even Tucker said something before he left of like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get my backpack, and then I'm going to go. And I was like, what? Because it looked like you had the backpack on the whole time, but I don't really get it.
Yeah, you were supposed to place it down at some point, or oh no, you were supposed to hand it to your partner. So the rule required you to pass it to your partner, but like for some reason I had the bag, so they had to put it in some designated area, and I could not find said area. So that's why after you heard me screaming around, being like, "Where's my backpack? Oh, please!" And of course, we can't leave without a backpack. So
you could, but you're losing all your shit. So.
Yeah, we would be sent right back home.
Damn.
We were like the only. Oh my god, it's almost 12. Okay, well I am going to call it because I have to be up in literally like 5 hours for this.
Night.
Good night.
Wait, what are you reading a script for again?
Commercial.
Commercial. That's what I thought you said. All right.
Yes. All right. I love you guys.